Hello and happy whatever day it is you're listening to this. We are going to be talking about factoring by grouping today. So to factor by grouping, this is where we group our polynomials so that we can easily factor it into what we call the quadratic form, right? So that's where we're into two groups of binomials, right, that are multiplying with each other. So to factor by grouping, I've got this polynomial here. The first thing you do is you group them. So usually the first two terms and the second two terms. And then we just do what we did yesterday, which was take out our greatest common factor. Now, if we do this right, we should end up with the same terms in each of these parentheses, which means we can combine them, and then the stuff that we take out would become the other polynomial here. Okay, so let's try this. Looking at this first binomial, I have 21x to the third minus 6x squared. So I'm going to look at the numbers first. So the greatest common factor between those two numbers, this is 7 times 3, this is 2 times 3, it's going to be 3, right? So I can take out a 3, and then I've got x to the third, and I've got x to the second, so I can take out an x to the second, because they each have at least two x's. And then what's going to be left is 7x minus 2. Right? Yeah. So 3x squared goes in front, and then I have 7x minus 2. Let's try it again over here. So over here, I have 35x minus 10. Looks like the easiest thing, this is 7 times 5. This is 2 times 5. So I can take out a 5. So I have plus 5. And then I have 7x minus 2. Great. Then basically the idea and the reason we can set this up as a binomial is these two terms have this binomial as a common factor, right? So I can take it and factor it out in front, and I would get 7x minus 2 times with what's left, 3x squared plus 5. 3x squared plus 5. And that is my factored binomial form. Not too bad, right? Just pretty much taking out your greatest common factor and then going through the steps there again. Okay, let's try another one. So again, we're going to start off by grouping. So we're going to group these here. So this is technically a negative 35. I think I told you guys when we did this unit, it's easiest to just, if you have a negative in front of this second group, to do a plus and then put the negative with that term in front there, so you know when you factor it out if you're factoring out a negative or a positive, because that minus sign is still technically still applying to it even when you group it. So that would be my suggestion, is to put a plus and then a minus next to the number instead. Okay. So then when we're factoring, looking at this first one right here, it looks like 7 and 3 are both prime numbers. Nothing I can factor out of those, so they're going to stay. But they both have an n to the third, n to the second, so they've got an n to the second that I can take out, which would leave me with 7n plus 3. Okay? And then looking over here, I've got a 35 and a 15 negative on both of those. So again, looking at this is negative 7 times 3. This is negative 5 times 3. I can take out a negative 3 on both of those. So negative 3 would go in front. And then I've got 7n. No. Negative 5. That's what I meant. This didn't have a factor of 3. Sorry, negative 5. And then 7n plus 3. Yeah. Okay, Then again, we have 7n plus 3 on both of those, so we can factor it in front. So I have 7n plus 3 being multiplied with n squared minus 5. And that is my factored form. Okay.